Take a look at me, I'm Muwanga. No matter what you see now. I'm Richard. I come from a family of 6. I'm the last born. I have a great passion for music because it's a very easy way to communicate to anyone. Yeah, that's what I would say about myself.
Your childhood was a difficult one. Can you tell me about growing up in a split home?
It's hard. It's hard. You don't get to feel what other children feel, seeing people come around with their parents, both parents, and they tell you, mommy said this, daddy said this, and you only have daddy, and you don't know what mommy says. You miss out on a few things. You grow up with that wanting and longingness on the inside of you. You want to have that other side of seeing a lady around, and then you're only seeing your dad. It's challenging, it's hard.
Did you feel like your mom was in wrong for leaving you, or she had a reason for doing that?
Yeah, when I was growing up, I felt that way. But when we had a chat with her, I outgrew it. I had to accept the reasons why she had to leave. So, and let it be as it was.
Which churches do you go to? Hey, you all worship harvesters. You? You? And then?
When did you join your uncle in Gayaza?
I joined my uncle in my P5. That's when I went to study at Bright Future. It wasn't the life I expected. I didn't get what a child needed to get. That playtime was so limited. I had to do a lot of things. I played less. I felt like an outcast because none of my family was there. I was in a foreign land. That is how I felt. Much as they were my cousins and all that, but I felt I was in a foreign land. I would see them after months, 6 or something plus, maybe 3, 4 months. It would be really a long time, and I would feel lonely most of the times. It wasn't so easy to identify with the people who are there.
What are those things that you were going through?
I had to play less. That was what hurt me the most because my playtime was limited. Most of the time was work, 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 work. Richard, come and do this. Richard, come and do that. Richard, do this. And when it came to time to play, I would only go out for about 1 hour and then they would call me back for something else. Sometimes I wouldn't play at all. I wouldn't play at all. Stay, sit, just find something to do, and you're lonely. The other people I lived with, my cousins, were older than me. They didn't have the playtime. They would watch TV and do different things, maybe go visit friends, and I would stay alone, trying to play with myself, which was so boring. And I would hear the other children shouting and enjoying, maybe playing football or something, or running. And I would feel like moving out to go join them, but then I was afraid if I came back, I would have to face the consequences of my actions. I had to ask to go and play. If they said yes, I would go. If they said no, it would be a no for me. I would stay and sit, do something.
How many years were you at your uncle's place?
I did my P5, P6, that's about 3 years.
So during that time, the 3 years time period, does that mean you never used to visit your dad, or did your dad used to come over and see you from there, from your uncle's place?
I used to visit my dad once in a while, like holiday time, maybe 3rd term holiday. That is when I would visit my dad. He would come pick me up, then we go. He brings me back.
Now, after the 3 years, you joined secondary, yeah? Is that the time you got that transformation that you went through?
It wasn't easy for me in Form 1, most especially. I still had a lot of baggage because that experience happened in my Form 2. That is when I got that experience. But in my Form 1, it was really bad. I had a very low self-esteem. I didn't like to socialize with other people because I grew up feeling lonely, so I wanted to be alone all the time. I felt worthless. I remember I had a phobia for shades when I was growing up. I didn't want to put on shades and different things because I had the mentality of they were for a different class of people and I'm not in that class of people because I didn't receive the love I expected.
You had that bitterness in you. At what point did you forgive all those that made you go through what you went through?
I was at home. I was watching LTV. There was a sermon. They were talking about forgiveness, and the person who was talking about carrying baggage. It feels heavy. You're not free on the inside. And they led us through a prayer that I said, and at that moment it was like water. Just, I felt that peace, and it was calm. Everything was quiet and still. And on the inside, it was so peaceful, so warm, so cold. I felt peaceful. I was just quiet for about 20 minutes. I couldn't say anything. It felt like I was being washed and renewed when I chose to let go of the past.
So is it at that point that you regained your self-esteem, because at one point you had lost it?
No, not at that point.
When did you?
I regained my self-esteem in my senior 4, because that is when I had started to play guitar at a good level. I would say the skill had grown. So me playing for other people and they loved what I was doing gave me a sense of purpose. If these people love what I do, then it means I'm important. So my self-esteem, the music, the guitar, grew my self-esteem to some level.
When did you discover the love for playing the guitar?
Love for playing the guitar. I was very young. I loved music as a child. I made a guitar. I remember it was a bottle. We used to have bottles back then. They had a shape of the body of a guitar. So I got a stick and put it in the mouth of the bottle. I put 3 nails just right at the top and stretched rubber bands to the back. So I would get, when I'm bored, sometimes I would get it and just la 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 la, just play something for myself. So when my parents noticed that, they took me to a band. It was a brass band. I was like the youngest. The other guys were way older than me. I used to play the side drum because we used to play marching and walking. So I would play the side drum, and it was really heavy for me. But I would, push and struggle just to keep in the band. I had my cousin. He was the leader. He was the commander of the band. So it was a team kind of thing. I felt like I was playing a role, and he was also playing a role. He was leading, I was backing him up. My parents used to come around, my sisters, and they would cheer. It kept me going. So at some point, I just dropped out. I lost the interest and just dropped out. I felt like it was not moving well for me.
When did you get back to your guitar again? When did you get there?
Get back to my guitar? I got back to my guitar in my senior 2. I was coming from school. It was holiday time. So I step into the sitting room and I see a guitar in one corner. At that point, I drew castles. I imagined I was on a stage with lights playing and people cheering and shouting. And
you had that imagination.
Yeah, I had that imagination on the inside. I didn't know much about the guitar though. I just played anything I wanted. I would get it for 2 days. No one was teaching me. I would just get it and just play. So one evening, my cousin comes around, and I'm in the bedroom. So I hear a beautiful sound from the guitar. So I had to come out and see who was playing. I was so shocked he was playing. So he taught me the first 3 chords that I know. I knew by then, at that time. obulunzi tebugulwa so tebali butunda guba mutima ogw'okwagala oguleeta kamwenyu kutama ery'omulala ku bitala by'ewandegea nze nasanga namukadde Evalina ng'asala kapikipiki kali kamukonye namukwata ku mukono ne tusalasala mu katakisi akeeru nampa akamwenyu wakuzibwa bulungi bwe yaŋŋamba tebuba kungulu buba munda So from there I kicked on, went to church. I joined Watoto then. Different people started to teach me
how to play the guitar. Then how did you join the Watoto Children's?
I started as a child before. So they taught me as a child. That was in my P7 VAC. So I grew in the skill. As time went on, they put me on stage when the skill had grown.
So what's your experience like when you're around these children and you're teaching them how to worship, you're teaching them how to play these instruments? How do you feel about it?
I feel great, honored, because it's amazing. These children grow up, they need a direction. The Bible says, train up a child in the way they should go, and when they grow up, they won't depart from it. So to me, it feels like I'm giving a value that is going to impact someone's life and make them better people as they grow up. When I share with them Jesus, when we share different things, I feel happy that they are responding, that you see a change in them when it comes to that special moment where I have to share Jesus, tell them something about God. They are so responsive. They give you that response of, we understand. They love it.
What plans do you have for your passion?
I just want to play and inspire people, because music is a teacher, music guides, music is worship to God. So I just want to go play. I just want to go places, inspiring people through my songs, just telling them, sharing with them different aspects of life. Maybe some feel the way I felt when I was growing up, low self-esteem. Maybe write a song about that and just talk to people through the music. Folk, so my songs are in that direction. Why I love folk is it's story. Everyone loves a story. Life is a story. You have a story, I have a story. Everyone out there has a story. The whole world has a story. So putting the music into a story kind of thing, you know, people love to listen to good stories.
Yeah,
so stories capture their attention. People read novels, people watch movies, all those are stories. So stories capture people's attention. So that is why I love folk music, because it captures someone's attention.
Do you ever plan to come up with a music school or a band one day?
Yeah, a music school, basically for the children, because this is a skill that you grow with. I grew up playing the guitar in Form 2, and I'm imagining a child growing up, maybe in their P1, and they start learning the guitar. About 7 years, it would really be a good thing for them to have that skill.
Wow. Thank you so much for being here on GXP, and such a great honor having you, knowing that you started with a plastic bottle and a rubber band and now you are a professional, you know, it says a lot.
I love the Lord. I love the Lord.
Yeah, I love the Lord.
You love the Lord. Do you love the Lord?
Yeah, I love the Lord.
You love the Lord. Do you love the Lord?